Yo, what is up, y'all? Today I'm going to be doing my UFC hot takes. Now, listen, I've been scrolling a little bit on the titty talk, and I got these boys. Now, I don't know if they're boys, I don't fucking know, but I got these TikToks that I be seeing, and whenever I look at them goddamn comments, bro, dude, I see the most stupidest shit, man. And I'm going to keep it real. This is why I'm doing this. I don't even know if I want to call them UFC hot takes. I could just call them like TikTok hot takes and just. I don't even know, man. Like, really, some of the comments that I've just been seeing have like just changed my perspective on UFC fans, because there's no way that we all think this. There's no way. So I have three takes, just three. They're not going to be, this isn't going to be a super long video. Some people got a season finale that they got to get to. So yeah, we're just going to start off with the first UFC TikTok hot take, which is Marab isn't entertaining. Bro, shut the hell up. That's what I gotta say. But no, really how I feel about this take, and just how I feel about how people are just like I just don't know, man, because it's all weird how like Marab has a really good fight with Corey Sandhagen. I understand that like you have the absolute war with Yuri and Roundtree, and then you go to this like 5-round decision with Marab and Sandhagen, which in my opinion was a really, really good fight. Maybe not like the best fight, definitely not better than Umar and Marab, but like still a really, really good fight. And I can't even lie, man. I genuinely think that Marab is one of the most entertaining champs that is out right now. He is easily one of the most entertaining champs. And I even said that to someone who said that they don't see Marab as an entertaining champ, which, I can say this much. It is your opinion. If you don't think Marab is an entertaining champ, then, I mean, it's your opinion. I'm not really trying to persuade you to think anything else. I'm more of just trying to have a conversation with it. And so, I do say that. I say that I'm tired, because this person says, I'm tired of people saying Marab is entertaining. And then I said, I'm tired of people saying that Marab isn't entertaining, when this year he's on a tear. He had fight of the year, which isn't fight of the year, but one of the best fights of the year with Umar. Went on a absolute just rampage on O'Malley, just completely saved 316 in my opinion, because everyone thought that card was going to be dog shit. Steamrolls O'Malley, steamrolls him, and then goes through Corey Sandhagen. And with that fight, it was a little bit of an adversity fight for Marab, because there were moments where he did get hurt. Most people saw it as pure domination. I saw Corey taking at least 2 of the rounds. And Corey being the hardest fight for Marab, but Marab, going through that and still being able to win the fight in a dominant fashion should show you how entertaining he is. And I just think the hate with Marab, like I saw like one person said that Kayla Harrison was a better entertaining champ. She doesn't even have a defense. Like JDM, he doesn't even have a defense. Listen, you can say JDM is an entertaining fighter for sure, but an entertaining champ, more entertaining than Marab. I mean, once again, it's an opinion. We just see different from eye to eye. We just see different. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at eagly, you looking at an owl. That's kind of how I think about it. So, yeah, I just think Marab, though, he's easily one of the best fighters that are out right. Easily, once again, like he is without a doubt one of the greatest fighters. And yeah, I just feel like the hate for Marab, especially after this performance, yeah, it wasn't against a former champ or I guess a scary contender or anything, but still, I think Marab, just the way he finishes fights, the way he's dominant, I mean, I don't know, man, you could say he's one of the greatest. Would I say that he's like up there? No, but I would say that he is definitely one of the greats, and I think he deserves a lot of respect for what he's doing for the bantamweight division, because in my opinion, he is really, I wouldn't say saving it, but he is really waking up a lot of fans. I think a lot of fans of certain fighters and stuff, and he has made a fan base for himself, and that's why I think he's entertaining too as well, because he can put on a show for fans. And yeah, I mean, once again, like, if you don't think Marab is entertaining, it's your opinion. I don't care. We can agree to disagree. Amazing fighter, though. Amazing defenses. And I can't wait for his next fight. Hopefully it's against Jan, and hopefully is a fucking just one-sided bloodfest, like bloodbath. That's kind of a better way to put it. And of course, I'm not having Jan win that fight. So that's my take. I think Marab is easily one of the most entertaining fighters out right now. I'd even say that he's the second most entertaining champ right now, behind Ilia Topuria, which I don't even think it's that crazy to say. But hey, you got Pereira, you got Aspinall, you know, it's just an opinion. It's just a take. Don't get too offended by it. So moving on to the next fight, or my bad. Moving on to the next hot take, TikTok hot take. JDM is a harder fight than Ilia Topuria. Well, let me rephrase this again. JDM is a harder fight for Islam Makhachev than Ilia Topuria, bro. Listen, I'm gonna just say this much, man. You say that Islam is scared to fight JDM, and his fans just come out like roaches in the fucking pantry or some shit, bro. Like roaches in the kitchen. I don't even know how to explain it, man. Like it is insane the amount of glaze that people put on Islam, and not only that, JDM to at least like stat pad. I don't know, just to like feel good about why Islam is going up. JDM, amazing fighter. Nothing against the guy. He literally has more fight time in his fight with Bilal than Ilya has with his last three opponents. So, I mean, that's just kind of how I want to put it. Not how I want to put it. That's what it is. I mean, seriously. And I just think that people that say that, you know, I can't agree that JDM, he has the size advantage. He is bigger. He can stuff takedowns. The takes that I see that he's more powerful, he's a better boxer than Ilia Topuria is blasphemy. It is disgusting. Almost makes me want to throw up in my mouth with just how awful that take is, how just stinky rotten that take is. Once again, JDM is a better boxer than Ilia Topuria, yet the only person that I can remember him knocking out are cans. Randy Brown, like literal cans with his hands, by the way. He knocked out Gilbert Burns with a knee, which was really nice, don't get me wrong. But yeah, I don't even want to I don't want to sit on this take. I cannot believe people actually believe this. Like, people actually genuinely think that JDM is a scarier matchup or a worse matchup for Islam, when I think, if anything, Islam putting on the weight, it's the same thing as Ilya. It just makes him more terrifying. It just makes him more better. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, look at JDM's face now. He won the belt off of Bilal, which I'm not gonna lie, he didn't take so much damage. But what do you think Islam is going to do to him? You know what I'm saying? I mean, listen, this is when we used to call Islam, like, not used to, but, you know, people like to call Islam not a good striker and stuff. And, you know, he did have his fight with Poirier, which I feel like, you know, yes, it was an old Poirier. Poirier could still stand and bang, though. That was legitimately the last piece of Poirier, like, prime-wise, in that fight, because, you know, in the Holloway fight, it was time for him to go. But, Islam pieced up Dustin Poirier. I mean, I'm not trying to say that he, you know, flat out just dominated. I mean, he did, but Islam, his hands, like, I would say that Islam is a better boxer than JDM. Like, not Ilya, that for sure not Ilya. And you can call me a glazer. I don't give a fuck, man, because this is going to go into the next UFC hot take that I'm not going to get into it right now because we're talking about goddamn JDM, but once we get into it, man, I know I'm a ruffle some feathers, but once again, dude, like, JDM, great fighter. I do think he's going to give Islam problems because it is a whole new weight class for Islam. But by no means do I think, at least, he is a harder fight for Islam. No way in hell. No way. I mean, this is the thing. You saw the escapes with Bilal, or with JDM, what he hit on Bilal. You know, some of those, I think, Granby rolls. I can't even really remember what they're called. I'm not a fucking jiu-jitsu nerd, but, what was I about to get at with this? Oh, what do you think? How do you think Islam's going to handle that? Islam is going to handle that with such ease. Like, I don't know, man. And then you guys want to mention size, which is completely fine. Once again, JDM is bigger. You know, he has the advantage in the size for sure. Who is Islam Makhachev's toughest fight? Who was it? Or what was his toughest fight? Whatever. Alexander Volkanovski. That first fight, which a lot of people thought Volkanovski won. How tall is Volkanovski? He's about the same size as Ilya, right? About 5'8". I think that's what Volkanovski is. I think Ilya is actually shorter at 5'6". Just like I said, like I've said, and I don't know. The delusion is insane. I don't know how some of y'all actually, like, genuinely believe that JDM is a harder fight than Ilya. But hey, man, you know, I think once Islam gets the second round submission, I don't think people are going to be saying that anymore. So I don't know. Moving on to the next hot take, which is going to piss a lot of people off, but Islam Makachev is a duck. Now, I'm not going to try to stir up some Twitter bullshit, you know what I'm saying, like Marab or any of that shit, or even like John Jones, where it's like he literally won't fight anyone unless it's Johnny Walker or Jamal Hill. No, I don't think that with Islam. I think Islam will legitimately fight anyone besides Ilia Topuria. And it's really just more of the comments that I see about it, because people want to make excuses, which in all, like, I don't know what Islam's excuse is. Of course, he had an excuse against Leon Edwards, because the one thing people always want to bring up about welterweight, or not really welterweight, but Islam going up to welterweight, is that he's wanted this title for years. He wanted this title for years. He got the chance to do it at UFC 300 and declined. And you know why? Because he was fasting for Ramadan, which leads into another thing that I have to say about this. Ramadan is not an excuse. Bilal, who also goes through Ramadan, fought Gilbert Burns. Now, actually, someone tried to hit back with me, or try to do a I guess, like, comeback and say that Bilal had 2 weeks to, like, recover, and Islam would only have 4 days. Like, between the fights, like, it was, what, 290? No, it was 289 when Bilal fought, if I'm right. And Bilal had 2 weeks after Ramadan to, I guess, rehydrate and get his whole shit together. I'm not really sure. Well, Islam only had 4 days to do that. I think, Bilal actually had the tougher camp, if you really think about it, because he has to kind of extend his Ramadan for another 2 weeks then. Well, Islam literally just had to ride out the fight camp and in fight week, and then he would have been rehydrated, ready and fit to fight at 170 against Leon Edwards, by the way. Easily the most easiest fucking fight in the welterweight division as of right now, and probably last year, 2023. I mean, to think that he beat Kamaru Usman is still just, is blasphemy. That's what it is. And to think that Islam didn't even want to take this fight to be a double champ. So now he decides to say, hey, my butt buddy who destroyed this, ass can Leon Edwards, I'm going to wait for him to lose his belt because, he's my butt buddy and I'm going to support him in this. I don't even know. I'm trying to come up with some bullshit and I'm not even going to attempt it. Bilal loses the belt. And the thing is, with 317, like, people love to just say that Islam is not a duck. But 317 could have happened if Islam just agreed. But he didn't. He didn't, because guess what Islam decided to do? I'm going to wait, brother. Brother, I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait for JTM to win, who only has, if I'm right, 2 ranked wins before he beat Bilal. 2 ranked wins, beats Bilal, whatever fight, dominant, blah, blah, blah. JDM has no defenses. No, it just wins the title, and Islam is like, I'm going to take this fight. I'm going to take it. And you know why? Because it's the easier fight. It's better for his legacy. It's a Khabib legacy here. This is what it is, genuinely. Khabib, one of the most overrated fighters of all time, and Islam is right behind that, right in Khabib's shadow, just because he wants to achieve greatness. Guess who has achieved greatness? Islam Makhachev, Ilia Topuria, and he has, because not only did he knock out Charles Oliveira, who is a former champ, he also knocked out Alexander Volkanovski, who people said was the greatest featherweight, greatest fighter of all time. There are takes, and knocking out Max Holloway, which leads into another hot take about Ilia, or not really Ilia, but about JDM, that people want to say that JDM is a better boxer than Ilia, even though Ilia beat the best boxer in the UFC, quote unquote, by the way, quote unquote. Everyone even can agree with that too, that Holloway is one of the best boxers in the UFC, at least at the time when he was BMF and all that shit. He was riding out on his win streak, beating Justin Gaethje and all those other featherweights and stuff. Who knocked them out? Who destroyed them? Now, yes, Max Holloway was easily he had the best performance against Ilia. Did he make it out of 5 rounds, though? I don't think so. I think Max Holloway got his ass fucking stuffed versus JDM, who went to a 5-round decision with Bilal Muhammad and took his fair share of damage as well in that fight. Listen, when it comes to how I feel, how my opinion is, you want to be the greatest fighter ever, then you fight fighters that are great. You don't just go for a belt just because that means greatness. That means GOAT status. That means legacy. It's kind of like the same shit with like Anderson Silva, Jose Aldo. They have all these title defenses. Against who, man? Genuinely, against who? Like, yes, you could say Damian Maia, Vitor Belfort, Chad Mendez. You could say those guys all you want. Are they better than any of the guys Ilya or even Islam has beaten? Like, genuinely. And yeah, I mean, I don't really. Oh man, it's already 8:04, man. I'm missing my damn Peacemaker shit, but I didn't really want to, sit and just like dread on these hot takes. I really just wanted to get my emotions out because I've been looking at the titty talk and I'm not agreeing with it, man. I don't agree with these takes, dog. But anyways, I really just want to know what you have to say, think, whatever the hell. And one thing before I end this video, I do not care what your opinion is, not from a disrespectful perspective, but from a how you come at it, like how your opinion is like formed or however you feel about this. Like, your opinion does not mean anything to me. Will not take it in any sort of way. This is just a conversation. It's all it is a conversation, a simple debate, if that's kind of what you want to say. And yeah, I really love to hear your hot takes and what you guys have to say about this. I don't want to get called a casual, but it's probably going to happen. So I don't really know, man. I just appreciate you guys for watching and hope you have a good night. Enjoy the Peacemaker season finale like I'm going to. And yeah, I'll see you.